This area is stressing me out now. Why was that just fixed? It should have been left down there. Hi everyone, I'm Rob Trotter. I'm the EMEA Managing Director at Sitely. We're a brand new business in Europe actually. We opened our doors 3 months ago, so this is hot off the press. We really help brands move at the speed of culture. That's our entire business. And essentially what happened in 2020, we developed a product called Brand Mentality. And really we knew that primarily digital advertising or video online would exist in 4 particular lanes. So that's YouTube, programmatic, CTV and social. So we made it our mission to essentially integrate ourselves into each one of those areas. So we're part of the YouTube measurement program. We get access to 80 million global YouTube videos every day and loads of API calls, lots of data. We're a TikTok marketing badge partner, so we get the top 200 trending hashtags every day per category. And we also aggregate 150,000 news publishers, which is really important for us on the open web. That's where a lot of stuff breaks, news stories happen. And we also use a social listening tool. And all of that data is actually refreshed in our platform every 5 minutes. So while I'm on stage today, if something mad happens out there, we'll know about it pretty quickly. So part of the inspiration behind the platform and the whole business is a lot of CMOs and brands wanting to sort of capture culture, right? They wanted to react to things quick, but the technology didn't actually exist. So we know that viral moments and trends come and go within 72 hours. Since being asked to talk at this today, there's been loads of different trends happening. It'd be snowstorms in America, it'd be the Beckhams, it could even be Harry Styles last night. As Luke mentioned, my wife got tickets, that's expensive. But it's really difficult, right? It's really expensive historically for agencies and brands to actually stay on top of culture. It requires teams of people scraping hashtags, manually following ambassadors or influencers. It's not really possible, or it's not really been that possible. But in 2026, it is because of AI and technology, we can do this. So marketing teams take a while. Something goes viral, takes days, weeks to actually conquest that moment. And that's what makes it really difficult. So since moving into this job, I've realized that, traditional campaign planning and buying is actually quite old fashioned if you think about it, right? We'll get a brief. It might be 8 weeks, 10 weeks before a campaign goes live. We respond to the brief, you might win that brief, and then it moves on. And then the week before you're like, we're going live with this, the same targeting parameters. We go live across rigid lists and URLs, and we retrospectively measure that campaign. But what happens if the world's changed in that period of time since being briefed? What happens when you're live and something happens that might be super relevant for your brand that you could have leaned into, but we perhaps don't have the muscle memory to actually do that? So it's all the what ifs, and technology now is allowing us to make sense of that. Second equation of the day, Warwick, sorry. So we talk about trends and moments, right? All this new language is coming around at the moment, so I thought I'd go through this. So what is a trend, right? It's an observation that evokes an emotion that invites a participation. So for me, I know that if I'm watching some sort of sport and I'm really energized by that, I'm willing to participate. 9 times out of 10, I won't get involved, right? And people have different emotions around different particular topics. And when these 3 things come together, that's when culture ignites, right? And this is when things start to go viral. So then we have a moment. What's a moment, right? The trend is what's happening, but the moment is what's got us engaged in the first place. And there's 4 pillars for a moment, right? It starts with a topic. It could be a person, a celebrity, it could be a brand, a sporting event, a business, a scandal, God forbid. And then there's the velocity, right? How fast this thing is going, right? Are we at the beginning of this trend? Is the bell curve on the way up? And then it's magnitude, like we've mentioned the Beckhams a few times, but that is huge, right? You can't go on any platform without seeing that news, even offline media, it's everywhere. And then the life cycle of that trend, are we at the beginning, the middle, or the end? Have we captured culture, or is it too late, right? So there's loads of moments, we've mentioned this a million times, that you can actually plan for. Tentpole events absolutely need to be around these. World Cup, there's always Olympics around the corner, can't remember which one's next. And there's holidays, and you'll have your own specific tentpole events within your vertical, right, your category. But the moments that are most powerful are the ones that you cannot plan for. So how can technology actually help you there? So good example, go back to 2024. I'm a bit of a darts fan, a bit of a saddo, but in 24 I probably wasn't a massive darts fan. Ali Pally, Luke Littler turns up, manages to get to the final, and quite frankly, he's revolutionised the game of darts, right? Now it's the biggest event in December on TV through to January. They're all multimillionaires, and it's Barry Hearn's biggest sporting fixture. Makes more money than the boxing promoting, which is absolutely insane, all thanks to a 16-year-old Luke Littler. Or it could be two wildly different movies coming together. These two should not have been mentioned in the same sentence, but they created this like subset of memes and culture and created Barbenheimer. And the two movies together amplified one another to actually create like what was even a bigger thing than they were meant to be as their respective movies. Or it could be a person, so the mere presence of Taylor Swift at the NFL sparked absolute insane, nearly broke the internet, quite frankly, and drove a new audience to start watching NFL. Lots of young females started to tune in to NFL. Any heated rivalry fans in the audience, that's doing a similar thing with hockey as well. It's having that effect on like driving people into watching different types of content. Powerful. I just feel really bad. I've just put this up just because I fancied it. Poor guys. But actually, off the back of this, there was a really good real-time marketing example. So the business, who were probably crapping themselves, were thinking, how the hell are we going to react to this, right? So I think they're called Astronomer. They employed Gwyneth Paltrow to actually react with some messaging. So if you hit their website, which I actually went to the website, what's all this about? She was there doing a video going, it's quite interesting that you're interested in server flow integrations and, real tongue-in-cheek, but like a great example of real-time marketing. So obviously, real-time marketing, you probably sat here thinking, well, my brand's like, I don't want to be around Taylor Swift, or, I'm quite specific, or I work in like a different type of vertical. There's risks and rewards with this sort of stuff, right? Am I going to be in the right place? It's going to be the wrong time. And Heinz, sadly, found out the hard way as well. And we talk a lot about being authentic, right? If a big brand or any brand tries to lean into something that they're not supposed to be in, it has an adverse effect. So our technology, for instance, started to see that the Barbie movie actually was gathering that velocity as far back as April in 2023, right? But actually, the magnitude of that was around the July part, and Heinz sadly delivered their campaign well after that, like almost into August. And it's pretty brutal. I mean, if you want to upset an audience, like do it like across social media. Creativity at the speed of legal, I thought was quite funny. As one comment, you're a bit late to the party. What an awesome campaign that would have been for Heinz to have, if they'd have known this, right? Granted, 2023, there's no technology really then to tell them this. They were trying to do a good thing. They missed the boat and it fell flat on its face. So actually the reward now is AI is helping us do this. And this is what we do at Sightly. But a good example is Wimbledon, Sinner at Alcaraz. I like to imagine someone actually popped a champagne cork onto the court, but I think someone threw it. I'm not sure what happened. But technology can pick this up within a matter of minutes of it happening. It's quite an isolated event. It's on centre court. It's Wimbledon. We can suggest to an advertiser, this is relevant for you. You might be a retailer. You might sell champagne. You want to lean into this content and enjoy the sort of like glory of it and a bit tongue-in-cheek. It was only viral for 3 days. It's not the Beckhams. It's not taking over the internet. And actually, you're already running your campaigns across social and these platforms, right? All we're doing is we're navigating you in and out of these moments that matter in a really cost-efficient way. So for entrepreneurial brands, this is as much about like avoiding wastage and being really efficient with your spend. And so a bit on the methodology about how this happens. So we believe it has to start with brand values, right? Every brand is unique, and you'll be thinking this in your head, like, my brand's like quite unique in this respect. So what we ask our brands to do is fill out a profile. So that's everything the brand stands for. So it's mission statement, its vision, its legacy, its heritage, like what it stands for, everything you can imagine about it, its events it wants to be around. World Cup might be completely irrelevant to you, but some sort of crafting event at the L2 might be like relevant, right? We don't know. Influencers, aspirational brands, what brand do you want to be around or associate yourself with? You might have ambassadors you want to plug in there as well. And the technology essentially is set up to follow these trends and topics. And then you go into things like opinions. So are you happy to be around sport? Yeah. Do you want to be around sport with intentional violence? Maybe not. Okay. How about news? Are you happy to be around news? Yes. But I'm not sure. I don't want to be around war and politics. So then we move into the crystal ball, right? We're trying to train AI to make sense of this. Okay, so you said you're all right about being around the news. What about if the government release a policy that reduces interest rates and that benefits your sector and your vertical specifically? That seems like pretty good news content you'd want to dial into. Instead of blanking block it news, we can really pick it apart. Or if an ambassador of yours does something out there that's like positive towards your brand, let's like move into it. So we've built a profile. It's rich, it's your DNA, it's rich with insight. And then we essentially build personas. This is the starting point of your targeting strategy. And the beauty of technology now is you can essentially translate that targeting strategy into all the taxonomies of all the major platforms and walled gardens in the world with a click of a button. So when I go out and talk to social media buyers and marketers, they love this. It's like teams of people that essentially have to like try and make sense of a targeting strategy and then transcribe that into the taxonomy of Meta or TikTok or whatever. Tech can do that for you now. So in terms of lean marketing teams, this is a really clever tool to help agencies get to the end goal quicker and be really efficient. And then imagine we run a campaign, and we're running a normal campaign across multiple platforms that's driving results, but actually what happens is these moments start to appear in the platform that you can see. This is an example for a furniture brand. You know, it isn't Taylor Swift, it's B&M Bargains are doing some sort of like furniture related content, right? For a furniture brand, this is perfect. It's value driven, it's affordable. Like we want to be around this content. There's multiple articles about it. People are reading it because they're interested in affordable furniture at the moment. It's contextual on steroids, essentially. And a good example of basically reacting to stuff is any football fans in the room would have watched the FA Cup a couple of weeks ago. If you were to look at the fixtures list, you'd have never in a million years have picked out Macclesfield and Palace as being like the game of the tournament, a David and Goliath moment where basically Macclesfield beat Palace and went through to the next round. It exploded, went viral. An amazing moment for an advertiser to be part of that like joy and elation. And actually when people are in a positive sentiment, they're willing to like react to your brand in a better way as well. Hilariously, my American colleagues put, weirdly, a video of Palace winning the FA Cup in there, which is completely wrong. And I'm just going to end on this now, but like you're probably thinking, but what's the upside to this? We're not talking about a witty response from your social media manager that's writing a response to something like Gwyneth Paltrow doing a video, or a rendered ad that's some sort of DCO. We're just talking about putting your normal stock ad imagery or video in the right place at the right time, right? And if you do that and you catch that trend on that upward curve, or even as it proliferates and it plateaus out, the results speak for themselves. All of our clients can't believe how strong this can be. So search intent doubles, purchase intent triples. So look, that's a whistle-stop tour of how real-time marketing and AI can help you at the moment. And I'm hanging around later on, so if you want to ask any questions, then please do. Thank you. Really cool.